This is the Changan CS15, the brand's newest and smallest SUV. Let's get the most important thing out of the way first. You have one variant and the price is 799,000 pesos. Is that good for you? What are you comparing it to? We won't say, but that price though, it's 799. I think you'll have to take a look at it. So first of all, it has automatic halogen headlights with daytime running lights, no fog lamps, but you do have this big chrome grille, 1.5 liter engine that makes 105 horsepower and 145 Newton meters of torque. Not earth-shattering numbers, but it is paired to a 5-speed DCT, so that's pretty nice at this price point. Over on the side, you have 17-inch two-tone alloy wheels, roof rails paired with a sunroof, side markers, and rear disc brakes, which is nice to have at this price point, along with a multi-link rear suspension. No torsion bar here, so let's see how that does later on. Coming over to the back, you got a blacked out taillight treatment. No light bar, but instead you have this effect where the whole width of the car is blacked out. It looks good in my opinion. A rear fog, backup camera, and parking sensors. Inside the tailgate, tonneau cover, got a good flat floor, and the rear seats fold 60/40. Inside the Changan CS15, I am 6'2", so I'm a bit bigger than Roy, and still I have a decent amount of headroom. Knee room is okay. I'm not sure how my passenger will fare with me in here, but for the driver, I don't even have to push the seat all the way back, because I've heard that the wheelbase of this CS15 is one of the longest in its class. The steering wheel only goes up and down, no reach adjustment, which is a bummer. But to make up for it, at $799, you do have a leather finish, multimedia buttons, and cruise control. Behind the steering wheel, you do get a digital gauge cluster, and it looks even bigger than the 7-inch touchscreen, which for me is no loss because unfortunately, the touchscreen does not have Apple or Android connectivity. It has Bluetooth. Instead, I can just look out the sunroof on top, enjoy the soft touch materials. We do have some here on the armrest. You have a center console, manual handbrake, and the 5-speed DCT that was mentioned earlier, a 12-volt socket, USB port, no ports in the rear, no aircon vents, but since this is a compact SUV, you don't really need aircon vents in the back. The seats are also leather finish, manually adjusted. They have a fair amount of bolstering for a car in this category, and Changan even managed to sneak in some contrast stitching, which is a nice touch. So overall, interior and exterior, it seems to have everything you look for in a starter car. Okay, safety-wise, you have the usuals, stability control, ABS, you have hill start, and you do have side airbags, as well as airbag for the passenger and driver in front. How does it drive though? It seems to have all the features that you need inside and out, looks-wise, but let's see how it does on the road. Okay, behind the wheel of the Changan CS15. So the first thing I look out for when I test drive a DCT car is if it hunts for a gear at a low speed. So on the way here to Arcovia, we went through some side roads, lots of traffic, lots of people pulling over, and I didn't really notice it. Get confused first or second, and that's a good sign because DCTs don't usually have a problem when you go faster. And you do have a 1.5 liter NA motor, so you're not going to go crazy fast on the highway. But right now, it feels like it can get out of its own way. So the other thing I like to look out for when test driving an entry-level car is the weight of the EPS. Not too numb, not too heavy. This one, a bit on the numb side. As you can see, you have a bit of a dead zone in the middle where you can kind of waggle the wheel around without the car really reacting. But when you do a sweeping turn, similar to this one, it loads up pretty well. Suspension, took that hump pretty well. So as I said earlier on, it's got a multi-link rear suspension, and I'm not noticing much body roll during our limited time behind it. But of course, we'll get to test that more in a full review. This car is loaded with 3 people right now. Yeah, not much pull, but again, I feel like I can overtake when I need to. What I do like about this though, something more not readily apparent from the specs is the way that I feel like I'm inside the car and not riding on top of it, unlike other budget cars or compact SUVs where you feel like you're high up and looking out. So here I feel like I'm inside it. I'm protected by the chassis, but I still have great visibility. And especially for first-time car buyers, which this car must be aimed at, that's a good sensation to have, that you feel safe. Not just safe because you have safety gear and like cameras and stuff, but you feel safe because you feel like the car is substantial around you. The build quality also helps out with that a bit, because so far the fit and finish seems pretty competitive. Yeah, turning radius, easy. For parking, you have the rear sensors and camera combo as well. So again, I'm struggling to think what would be missing here for a first-time car buyer, because you have the basics and then some for a price that's really affordable, and the warranty ever is pretty competitive, 5 years, and we'll have the details down below. But so far, it's a good first impression for the CS15, and make sure to subscribe to our channel and check out our full review next time. Thank you.